Hey everyone, let's have a little chat about the reality of our reading. I've recently noticed a few things about my reading, one of which is that I want to read more than I actually can read. It's not that I didn't know that before. I've always been aware that I can't read all the books that I want to read, but that doesn't stop me from looking for new books and hearing about titles and telling people, yes, I want to read that. Oh, that's been on my wish list forever. I've been meaning to get to that. Does that sound familiar? Have you done that too? I do that all the time. I hear about books and authors and I'm meaning to get to them, but I get distracted by other things that I find more attractive at that point, or that I'm more interested at that point, or I just have it lying around. It's more available. There are so many reasons that I can't even pinpoint what makes me pick up one thing and not something else. I first noticed this when I thought about what I'm reading this year. And I noticed that my reading this year is different than recent years. First of all, I've been reading a lot more books. I've been reading a lot of short books, and I've rarely read any American stories. I noticed that for the first time that I've been meaning to read more German authors, I actually did pick up German authors. And in looking at my reading, I noticed that I've been reading a lot more science fiction and fantasy than I actually thought. I wouldn't have imagined that most of my reading this year and also in recent years has been science fiction and fantasy. I wouldn't have guessed that. I would still say that literary fiction is my go-to genre. Those are the go-to authors and books that I have. But it's not really true anymore. So there's a tremendous list of books I want to get to, but that's literary fiction set in America. I don't feel like reading that right now, no matter who the author is. And it's kind of weird. I'm trying to wrap my head around what's going on, and I'm not completely done. But I thought I'll share my thoughts with you to hear what your thoughts are on this. Because I read an average of 70 books a year. This year, I've already read 70 books. And I'm more panicky of not getting to all the books that I want to than I've ever been. And I don't know why that is, if it's all the recommendation lists of interesting, fantastic, amazing books that are coming out every other day this year, it seems. Or I don't know. What's that? How do we deal with that we want to read everything but can't? And how do we choose what we read? This discussion has gone away from me. I don't know. Let's talk in comments about the reality of wanting to read more than we actually ever can. And what do we do to deal with that? Apart from trying to read more and more and more and reading less and less and less because we're overthinking. Or is that just me? Let's talk in comments about the reality of our reading. Look at your reading and tell me if you have the same feeling that you think you read something, but you don't, or that you don't pick up the books you wanted to read forever, but something new. Too many questions. Let's talk in comments. You know how that works. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.